everyone, it's Kim, or you may know me as kimsmithhappy. I'm your friendly local yarn shop owner from Alterknit Universe. We are based here in Cleve, which is just outside of Bristol in North Somerset in the UK. And I'm here today to just hang out with you. It's currently Vlogmas, so I'm just going to be chatting for about half an hour. Excuse me, I do have some hiccups. Excuse me. For those of you who don't know, I suffer from chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, and general womb issues. And part of my chronic illness is that I get weird nausea sometimes. I get weird temperature fluctuations because my body can't regulate its own temperature. So yeah, if you notice me being a bit, I don't know, is weird the word? Unusual, whatever. Just chalk it up to that. This is why I usually like to edit my vlogs, so that I can take out all the pauses or the moments where I have to stop and get ready to go again because I'm either feeling tired or nauseous or whatever. But this is real life. We're just chatting. We're just two friends hanging out. So hi. It is, what is it today? The 21st of December. Carl is behind the screen again, so if you hear a disembodied voice, that is my partner Carl.
Hello.
He has been working in the shop all day today. It's Thursday, and I was supposed to come down at 5 and relieve him so that he could have a couple of hours to get ready before his sorry, he's trying to catch a fly. It's very distracting. A mosquito. To get ready for his D&D game tonight. Are you playing D&D or is it Pathfinder?
We're doing Pathfinder character creation, so it's pretty low-key today.
Okay. So yeah, so you didn't need much time to prep, and I wasn't feeling too great energy-wise. So I stayed in bed all day and then got ready just for you. Just for you lovely people. So I'm wearing a really poofy shirt that I don't usually wear because it is polyester and it gets me hot. But I thought, for half an hour live, let's do it. Let's risk it. Because it is amazing and it gives me pirate vibes. What do you think? Is it more pirate or is it more floofy main protagonist in a historical drama? I don't know. I can't figure it out. But yes. Right. So what we're going to talk about today, what I'm working on. I've got in my hands right now my AdventUrous Scarf, which is a pattern by TLYarnCrafts, who is the queen of Tunisian crochet, and it's using my very own advent calendar that we have created. And I'm on day, I don't even know what day I am. I'm very behind. I think I'm on day 13 or something. Carl's counting. Looks like he's counting.
10 or 11. Yeah,
let's count. Let's count together. So we have 1, we have 2, which is the lighter green, 3, which is the bright green, 4, which is the bright yellow, 5, which is the gold, 6, which is the spotty cream, 7, which is the rosy gold cream, 8, which is the light blue, 9, which is the Doctor Who blue, TARDIS blue, 10, which is a moody blue, moody blues. I have not named these previously, but we're giving them names now. What am I on? 10. 11, which is sparkles, and then 12, which is actually, it's kind of like the sparkly color. So the sparkly color has this really deep forest green in it, and then this is a deep forest green that doesn't have sparkle in it. So we're on, what did I say, 12?
12, you've just started,
12.
So
there we go.
That's correct from what I could see.
Yeah, Carl did a great job. So yes, someone asked me over the weekend actually at our knitting festive party, our knit group festive party, if I have names for all of the colors, and I don't. When I make the advent calendars, one thing I do to try and keep the price really low is I use whatever we've got lying around. That sounds really horrible. But what I mean by that is so this is the Art Equals Happy recycled yarn. All of our yarn comes in cones that we rescue from people's attics where they're getting all moldy, or save them from landfill, because a lot of people don't know what to do when a family member or a friend passes away and they have a whole bunch of colored yarn up in their house. And a lot of the times charity shops don't take them, and a lot of the times people don't know that they could sell them on eBay or use them, so we save them. It's a very noble cause. It's basically free yarn, and we clean them up and we make sure. Sometimes they're really, really dusty and unusable. Sometimes they've got moth eggs in them, which makes them unusable. So we have to, and then sometimes they are damaged. So if they have been like cut into for whatever reason by accident, then that kind of damages most of the yarn on the cone. And then sometimes they're just disintegrating because they haven't been kept in a good environment. So we go through a process to clean and save them all and freeze them and everything. Freezing them gets rid of moth eggs. Top tip: if you've got yarn that's been attacked by moths, pop them in a bag and pop them in the freezer for like 48 hours. So we go through that whole process, and then the tricky part for me is figuring out what colors and what textures and what thicknesses go together. I've probably talked about this a bunch before, but that's what I do. So one of the things to help keep the Advent calendar costs down is that I'm using whatever has been donated to us or whatever I've found either on eBay or scouring, what's the word? Like house clearance sales. What is it called? Estate sales. So yeah, so if there just isn't any purple, then I just can't use any purple, if that makes sense. So I tend to use a reference image that inspires me, or that is something that I found throughout the year. This year it is inspired by our D&D characters from Forgotten Memories, which is a campaign that Carl was running for me and some friends, and we actually have recorded the whole dang thing. You can watch the whole dang thing on YouTube. It's up there under Hodgepodge Heroes. So if you go and you search that, Hodgepodge Heroes all together, you can find recordings of all of our sessions. We live streamed them on Twitch and then uploaded them to YouTube. There's a couple right at the end that we haven't uploaded yet. But yeah, there's literally hundreds of hours of content there if you want some company this December and you're sick of your family and you just want to hang out with me. It's me and a bunch of friends playing make-believe. And you can get to know the characters that the yarn for the Advent calendar was based off of. So yeah, that was something else I was talking to someone about on Sunday, and that was how much is the Advent calendar, and that is 50 quid. So you get 10 gram mini for every day in December. We're completely sold out for this year. It's halfway through December now. Well, it's almost towards the end of it now. And we specifically designed this Advent calendar to be a low-cost Advent calendar because all of the other yarn Advents that I've seen out there are 100, 200 quid, something like that. And while it is totally deserved because of all the work that goes into dyeing minis, not everyone can afford that. So we wanted to offer an alternate to it. That's what we do here. We offer alternatives. And so we came up with the recycled yarn Advent. Maybe one year I'll create a list and a card to go with it and everything, but we're trying to keep the cost super, super low. But I hope you're enjoying yours if you've got one. We only did 30 this year, which was very, very fun. I'm really enjoying working with mine. I'm also making little stars, which you can go back and see on the previous lives. But that's enough Advent chat. What else can I show you today? Oh, speaking of which, our Sunday. So let's see, last time I spoke to you was on Thursday, And then we had Friday and Saturday in the shop, which was nice. We were open, we had people coming in and chatting. I don't know that I did much teaching, which is very unusual. Oh yeah, I had one little class, but yeah, kind of unusual. We've been like super full with teaching the whole year, and then suddenly December rolls around and now there's nothing. So that's really interesting. A teacher friend, yarn teacher friend of mine who also teaches locally said that she's had like no one either. So maybe it's just the time of year. Maybe everyone's just stressed about social engagements and the upcoming holidays and things like that. Excuse me while I take a sip of water. So that was quite nice. We managed to actually get some work done, and then on Sunday we had a little event in the shop for our regular knit groupers. We have a Discord if you want to keep up with everything that's going on. Totally free to join. Link will be in the description, and I was just chatting to people on there about it and letting them know what's going on. So the Discord chat was lovely this week, and my brain is totally floating around, excuse me. Sunday we had our little event in store. That's right. It was our little festive party, so everyone came and brought some food. Well, most people did, and we were trying to keep it all nut free because there's a couple of people who have pretty bad nut allergies that are coming on a regular basis, so that worked out well. We had a little spread of fruits and cheeses and vegan cheeses and crackers and festive foods. We had someone make brie and cranberry like pastry parcels, which were delicious. We had someone homemade shortbread, which was gorgeous. There were cheesy flapjacks, and lots of people brought in like biscuits and cakes, and it was just lovely. Really, really lovely. And we hung out from 1 till 7, so that was all day. And we did a little gift swap as well. So the premise behind the gift swap was bring in a skein of yarn that's about 100 grams that costs about £10. It could be more if you wanted to, but we wanted to just make sure that people knew the value would be about £10. A lot of people brought from their stash, which was perfect. I was hoping they would do that. It's for, something that, because then price isn't really an issue, something that they had in their stash that maybe wasn't serving them anymore, or they loved it when they got it, but they haven't made anything with it, or their color preferences have changed or whatever. So that was really, really awesome to see everyone. And I think we had about, 7 or 8 people participate, which was really lovely. I got this gorgeous yarn here that is a combination of wool and silk and linen and cotton. No, llama, wool, silk and linen. It's very soft and it's a beautiful purple color. I think it's kind of a chunky. Yeah, it's like a, let's see. Yeah, they suggest 9mm, so it's a chunky. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it yet, but it's really pretty, really lovely, and I think Carl quite likes the color. Yes, he'd like, yes, I do. So that's really nice. And Carl got in this cute little festive bag, which is really cute. And we encourage people to write like a little clue on the bag to say like, this one here is lacy, wool and silk, or you could write, this is for someone who likes mermaids, or this is for someone who likes rustic natural yarns and things like that, just so that when people were picking things out of the basket, they could try and get something that fitted their vibe. So this was the one that Carl got, which is a gorgeous lace weight, very like turquoise teal, and there's bits of like greeny teal, like a more greeny teal in there. It's absolutely gorgeous. I have no idea what he's going to do with it yet, but lace weight you could hold double, or pop it with some of our fluffy alpaca or something and make a really gorgeous like summery top or something. It's really pretty. So yeah, we're really, really happy with our gift swap, and I hope everyone else is as well. But there were lots of smiles, so I'm gonna call that a win. And it was just really lovely to just hang out and, you know, have a bit of festive cheer. So if you're, oh, by the way, if you're wondering why I'm wearing headphones, it's because this is my mic. This is my audio. So we just found that this gives the best audio quality. I'm not just like randomly listening to like rap metal or something while I'm talking to you, don't worry. So that is our festive party. I feel like I'm going very fast today, sorry. This is supposed to be like a relaxing chat. That's what happens when you don't see anyone all day. You just get really excited when all your friends come over. So that was Sunday, and that was really nice. And then Monday night, we went out to our friend Maddie's house for a movie night, which was really, really good. And we called in curry. We tried a new place, and we all tried new to us curries, and that was delicious. And we watched Storm of the Century, which is a mini series that Stephen King wrote back in the 90s, I think.
I think so. It's definitely had that vibe.
Like 80s, 90s. And it was good. It was a little slow to start. And I can't remember what our thoughts were on it. It was slow to start. It was interesting. I was a little disappointed at the end that it was all about the kids. No spoilers, but yeah, it was interesting. The special effects were absolutely hilarious. It's supposed to be like a horror, but I think the fact that the special effects just look so like camp now, it just kind of makes you giggle. So, so yeah, it was fun. It was good fun. I really like a good sort of dystopian film or show or TV series or book or something like that. But yeah, it was good. I'm glad we watched it. It's definitely one of those ones that does keep making you think about it. So that was good. So we had a really nice time, and we stayed up far too late. And when we got home at about 1 in the morning-ish, we checked on our window because our shop window had just been replaced that day. And for those of you keeping up with the drama, one of our shop windows has been repeatedly shot with a BB gun from unknown assailant. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Assailant? An unknown perpetrator, unknown assailant, has been shooting little pellets, like ball bearings, at our window. And there were 4 shots in the window. And don't worry, it's always happening at night, so you don't have to ever be worried coming into the shop. And the pellets are not coming through the window, they're like hitting, causing damage, and bouncing back off outside. So we finally got the window fixed because we have security cameras up, and we thought, okay, great. Now, if it happens again, at least we'll have footage of it. We get back at 1 in the morning. The new window's been up for somewhere between 4 and 8 hours, and there's another hole in it. So, fresh piece of glass, such a waste. And it's got another hole in it. They've gone and shot our window again. So Carl and I spent about an hour just absolutely fuming and walking around the house not knowing what to do. And checking all the security footage and phoning the police and reporting it again. I don't want to talk too much about what we found on the security footage or anything like that because it is a current investigation. So I'm going to leave that up to the police. But I really, really, really appreciate everyone's comments and little donations on Ko-fi and just like chat about it and just saying how rubbish it is and this is really silly and this is the 4th incident now, and it definitely feels like a targeted attack. We also definitely think that it is coming from across the road, so that that's really dangerous. That means they're shooting across a busy road. This is an A road, which if you don't live in the UK, it's not a highway, but it's like the next best thing. And that's really dangerous, and we don't want to put the community at risk. Well, we're not putting the community at risk. The person who's shooting is putting the community at risk. But it's rubbish, and there hasn't been any other like damage that we've noticed anywhere else, and apparently nobody else has reported anything in the village. So it definitely feels like a targeted attack. And the only thing that I can think is, it's either some kids just messing about thinking it's funny, which it's not, and it's not a victimless crime. It costs a lot of money to get windows replaced, and we are not made of money. We're not Amazon. We don't have, I'm not making billions of pounds and buying a yacht and going on holidays 12 times a year. Like, that's not us. We're a small business struggling to survive during a very difficult time for high street shops to be around. If you follow businesses on Instagram, you'll know that places keep shutting down, businesses keep going out of business. And yeah, I mean, you know this because you're here and you're lovely. But anyway, I thought I'd just fill you in on the drama. Yes, and I was going to say something else about it. Why we might be targeted. I don't have any enemies as far as I know. So the only thing we can think of is that our shop is very outspoken about views and social issues. So the window that's being targeted is actually our activism window, and generally has something to do with issues that are happening around the world that might be affecting us locally, or human rights issues. So for instance, in the window, when the pussy hats were a big thing, we had a big pussy hat in the window. Obviously, since then, we know that pussy hats have been a very white-centered, what do you call it? It was very centered on white people, and it really should have been more inclusive to all races and also genders. Like, trans women are women too, and they should have been more included. But anyway, we thought we were doing good stuff at the time. So we had our pussy hats in the window. We've had Black Lives Matter in the window for several years, like a huge Black Lives Matter sign. And we also have had a giant progressive LGBTQ plus flag in the window. I designed a pattern for it, and we had it up in the window. Let me get that actually so I can show you, because there hasn't been a lot of like knitty content this week. So this is the massive flag. It's not in the window right now, you'll notice. So this is it. It's beautiful, and it's a knitting pattern that you can make yourself. And we actually sell kits as well. So this here is a kit made by Pixie Yarn for making the small version, and we can always help you pick colors and things like that. But it's a gorgeous, gorgeous flag, and I'm really proud of it, and I want to put it back up in the window like almost immediately. Now, it's not in the window right now because we've had to have the glass changed, and every time our window gets shut we have to clean up any glass that might have come in through the little hole. This is the little tiny one, by the way, that the Pixie Yarn kit will make up. That's the sort of size. Am I holding this the wrong way around? There we go. So
hard to tell with cameras because it reversed and everything.
Yeah, I was like red at the top, red at the top. So anyway, this is made with mostly West Yorkshire spinners and Lang sock yarn, which is great. But Pixie has made a gorgeous hand-dyed kit of 4-ply, which I don't think you have on our website, but if you want one, send me an email. They are £50, and they will make definitely one flag, maybe even two if you're lucky. So anyway, I thought I would just show you that because I think this might be why we're being targeted. I think it might be a little homophobic kid or something that thinks it's funny, or a right-wing person or something like that. So that's my inkling. I have literally no proof for it whatsoever. That's just my inkling. It's the only thing I could think of that would have ruffled feathers in my community. So anyway, that's that. What was I talking about before? Oh, I wanted to say how important it is to continue to speak up. And just because the flag's out of the window right now because we're cleaning and sorting it out, doesn't mean that we're going to stop doing what we're doing. We're never going to stop doing that. We're never going to stop speaking out. We're never going to stop talking about the hard issues out there, because that is so important and that's what can make change. So any discomfort that I am feeling, any discomfort that the business is feeling, any discomfort, any cost that it takes to get our windows replaced or buy security cameras or whatever, is a fraction of the discomfort that marginalized people feel every single day. And I know, while you're watching this, you already know this, but I thought I would just tell you in case there's someone out there that's never thought about that. Why do we do this? Why do we put our necks out there on the line? Because we can do that with relatively small repercussions. It's the whole idea of standing in the gap. If you see someone getting hurt and you as a white person or a cis person or a straight person can put yourself in that situation to diffuse that situation and help, what's the word I'm looking for? I was going to say help save that person, but that's not what I mean. To help ease that person's suffering, then it's worth doing. At least it feels like it for me. So that's why we're doing this, and I believe it's right. I believe that everyone deserves to live a good life. I believe a better world is possible. I believe that women's rights are human rights, that Black Lives Matter. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot that there's not a lot that I feel like I can do in my own personal life, and being open about these issues is something I feel like is doable and is worth doing. That's enough preaching for me. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's the big drama in our lives right now. Other things that's happening in our lives. We're just getting ready for the crazy big week of Christmas. Carl's family celebrate. We're not huge Christmas fans, Carl and I. And I hate to say that because I know it brings a lot of joy to a lot of people. But especially with everything going on in Gaza right now, with the war and innocent people dying and people just trying to live their lives and, not starve to death or die in a pile of rubble, it feels really weird to be, having this Christmas season of excess. And it's a very religious holiday, and yet it's kind of turned into this corporate must have everything money grubbing holiday, and it feels really, really weird to me to be participating in a lot of the traditional festive stuff. But I know for a lot of people it brings a lot of joy, so I would never want to take that away from someone. So Carl's family really loves Christmas. So on Christmas Day we're going over to Carl's mum's, which would be really, really nice, and they always cook food and there's always presents and usually some type of silly game. Last year your mum made some hilarious little scratch cards where if you won one of the games we were playing, you got a scratch card and you scratch it off to see what you won. She's a very crafty lady, bless her. So that was fun. I don't know what we're going to be doing this year in terms of games, but no doubt she will come up with something awesome. And if she doesn't, we'll have some board games in the boot of our car to bring out if the moment arises. In terms of presents, I think we've got everything, almost. I think there's 2 people left that we need to arrange for that. In terms of my side of the family, we don't do presents, really. I mean, I did when I was a kid, but my mom and dad are very much of the opinion that spending time together is way more important than any material objects, which is wonderful. And homemade gifts are like on the legendary tier of gifts. So we have planned a very casual day of just being together and eating some very easy to make food and just being together, playing games and chilling out and just enjoying each other's company. So that is really what I love about the holiday season, is actually being able to spend time with the people that you love and having an excuse to get together and enjoy each other. So that's pretty much our plans. We're also going to go and visit Carl's dad at some point too, which will be nice to check in with them and see how they're doing. And yeah, and that's it. And then New Year's Eve, we are having some people around, which will be gorgeous. It's kind of ended up being a ragtag group of people who don't usually have New Year's Eve plans, which suits me just fine. So we're gonna probably play a big board game or a bunch of little board games and just hang out and just try and relax a little bit. And then if we all get really tired, we can collapse into the living room and watch some cheesy films or something. So yeah, those are our little holiday plans. I hope you are having a good December, whatever you are doing. I hope you're managing to find a bit of happiness amongst all of the craziness that's happening in the world right now, because I know there is a lot, and I know it's really heavy, and I know it's really hard to navigate, especially when there is a lot of stress coming from this time of year. But yeah, I really appreciate you being here, and I hope you're doing some fun crafting. I hope you found some time to do something for you, not just gifts for other people, but I hope you have like a special little project that's bringing you a lot of serotonin every time you work on it. I hope it's something that you look forward to doing at the end of the day. And if you don't have that project, let me know. Let's find something for you because you deserve it. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think it's coming up to time. I need to figure out what we're going to have for dinner tonight. I was thinking of doing some white people taco night food, which, if you don't know, that's a meme. And it's like Mexican food that's been so whitewashed, but it is delicious. So we might do some like Mexican style rice and some vegan chickeny stuff and some sour cream, maybe some nachos with cheese on it to like dip into it. I don't have time or the energy to make a chili, otherwise I would totally do that. So I think that's probably what we're gonna munch on tonight. And yeah, and I hope this weekend goes by smoothly. It's the weekend before the madness of Christmas Day, and we're going to be open on Christmas Eve. So I expect that we will have a lot of people driving by that have forgotten to get a gift for someone, popping in being like, help me. I'm like, I got you, it's okay. So we'll see. We always get a couple every year. But yeah, it's been wonderful to talk to you. Thank you for hanging out with me while I'm rambling, and I hope you're having a good week, and I will speak to you next week. Bye.